Well, I've known Bobby for over 4 decades. You know, when I started coaching at West Point 45 years ago, I was 28 years old and I was looking, we had to turn a program around. It was my alma mater and I needed a young, energetic guy who was a good player and a good person, and from all the people I looked at, Bobby just stood out. And he helped me establish a program at West Point, and then helped me establish a program here at Duke before he went on his journey to William & Mary. You know, he is a believer. He not only is a believer in the program, but he's a believer in the school that he was representing. Just like he's been a believer at William & Mary for decades, and that's why he's stayed there.
I first met Bobby Dwyer when I was coaching at Walsingham Academy, and he came and asked me if he could be involved, as he had both his sons at Walsingham in the basketball program. And I went home that night and my College of Knowledge, William & Mary education kicked in, and I said, well, he coached at Duke, I probably should have him help me. And that began a 26-year relationship of he and I coaching Walsingham Academy. And the really neat thing about that is I learned how to coach from him.
One day he was reading the NCAA news and he saw 2 job openings at William & Mary. And the thing that caused him to make the call was seeing John Randolph's name, because he said, wow, John was the track coach at West Point when I was there with Mike. I think I'll give him a call.
John Randolph asked him to come over and meet me. And people think I was on that committee, but you know, I don't think there was a committee. It was just John Randolph. He selected Bobby, and that's the way it was going to go. So I had a good conversation with Bobby. He even knew what the Whiteman Cup was. So I was pretty impressed. But then I said to Bobby, have you raised money? He was a basketball coach, you know, at Swanee. Have you raised any money? Oh yeah, I've raised money. I raised $500 for the basketball team. I thought, oh my God, what have we got here?
Well, I think what Bobby was coming into was really more of a startup. You know, you tend to think of it, things are up and operating, but I don't think there was really any great structure to it. They had the Athletic Educational Foundation, but I felt like when Bobby came in, it took a very organized, you could almost call it a coaching mentality. He did a very good job, I think, of broadening the network nationwide. And so you know, he was really almost starting from scratch in many ways.
Bobby was such a sincere person that obviously when you're a recruiter, you're a good salesman. And I think Bobby's sales strengths were really about building relationships, not a fast talker or anything like that, but building warm, lasting relationships.
But I do remember sitting in my office and having him come in, introduce himself, and thinking, oh, that's pretty cool that the fundraiser is somebody who's been a coach. And, you know, that really resonated.
Well, when I heard that he was making a career change to do that, the very first thing I said, William & Mary. Okay, that makes sense. You know, you're talking about, you know, Wake Forest, Duke, West Point, William & Mary. Come on, they're in the same room, you know, of excellence academically and people-wise. I thought he'd be very successful.
But it turned out John, as he frequently was, Randolph was, he was right. Perfect guy.
I mean, I think he was the absolute perfect fit.
I don't know how John or the whole group would have found anybody better than Bobby. Well, if it's possible for us ever to be out of the red, he's done it. Without Bobby, there would be no department, really. He's raised the money, and he jumped from nothing to millions. You can't summarize what he's brought to this department in a couple of words.
He's one of those people that you can tell, when he asks a question, he actually wants to know. You know, he's not just talking, he wants to know. And so when you're friends with somebody and they also have a job that may relate to, you know, your giving interest, that's actually pretty easy because they've already figured out what your true interests are. And what they're really doing is just helping you feel good about what you're doing. And I challenge you to find anyone that dealt with Bobby that didn't feel good about the experience.
The art of fundraising and the business of fundraising involves relationships. And Bobby built genuine relationships with people. True interest. He was interested in because it was his work. He was interested in it for the benefit of William and Mary, but he also was very interested in the people.
He's had a leadership role in helping lots of young men and young women work towards their goals of playing a sport. So I think maybe that's been his commitment, to help young people.
We certainly can cite statistics and talk about how Tribe Athletics has raised over $250 million in his tenure here, which is just mind-blowing when you think about it, and how many people that has benefited.
The bottom line is he cares more about the donors than he does about the money, and therefore he's very successful at raising money.
He was proving to you that he was creditable and that he was a long-term player. I mean, that's the real beauty of him.
I think he's one of these people that's going to be remembered for a long, long time.
I think Bobby's biggest legacy, I think he's been a father and husband role model, is the 5 words for Bobby. You know, all these professional things, you know, were great, but you look at him as a man and the things he's done, I mean, there's no better person.
A genuine person who treated everyone with respect and had a beautiful family, and someone that I think people will look up to.
He can look in the mirror and say, you know, I'm a good person.
Bobby, wish you a lot of luck in your reconstruction of your golf game, getting back to that single-digit handicap. Please do not change your cell number.
Are you going to let Bobby sit next to you at Tribe basketball games now that it's
No. No.
Bobby, Patty, and the entire Dwyer clan, I know you're all together tonight. Congratulations. You know, 34 years, wow. You know, but that's who you guys have been. You're committed to excellence. You found utopia being at William and Mary, a place that you could really believe in at the highest level, and you've done a fantastic job. From the Krzyzewski family, congratulations.
Thanks for all you did for me and all the things you did for William and Mary Athletics. We couldn't have done it without you, not one thing.
Bobby, 34 years, you've done a wonderful job for their college. You've got a beautiful family, and it's good to know that you're going to be still around.
We know things will change a little bit in terms of professional working life, but nothing will change in terms of our friendship, and we're so honored and blessed that you have touched our lives in so many ways.
Bobby, thank you so much for all the work that you've done for William and Mary Athletics over the 34 years that you've been here. You've made a difference in countless student athletes' lives, including mine, and I could not be more grateful.
I think you and Patty got a great opportunity to enjoy the kids, the grandkids, and I'm expecting you to do just that.
Oh, Bobby and Patty, congratulations on this next step in your life. We know you're going to be around, so we look forward to seeing you many, many times. But we really, Hal and I, wish you the very best going forward.
I'm just really going to miss you, and I love you.
So I tell you, I think he's chosen the right time. He's done enough for William and Mary. It's time for him to have some time for himself.
Back in 1985, the welcoming Williamsburg community, the college's warm embrace, and the tribe Talman made the Dwyers feel right at home. Welcome home, Bobby, and bon voyage.